Lloyd B. McKissick Jr., William M. Brawley, Wyatt T. Tucker, and Stephen J. Levitas. In compliance with the State Government Ethics Act, I remind members of the commission of their duty to avoid conflicts of interest and inquire as to whether any member of the commission has a known conflict of interest with respect to any matters coming before the commission today. Okay. Seeing that there are no conflicts, we will proceed with public staff item number 1. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Joanna Garcia Morin of the Public Staff, Water, Sewer, Transportation, and Telephone Division. Telephone item 1 and 2 presented interconnection agreement amendment and agreement filed for commission approval by Bellsouth Telecommunication LLC and Peerless Network of North Carolina LLC, Bellsouth Telecommunication LLC, and Brightspeed Broadband LLC. The public staff has reviewed the filings and recommends that the order be issued approving the amendment and agreement effective on the date they were filed.
I will move to have it approved.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that item number 1 be approved as recommended by the public staff. Are there any questions or discussion from the commissioners? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll proceed with public staff item number 2.
I'm sorry, make that. So item number 2 is an agreement filed for commission approval, which is for Bellsouth Telecommunication LLC and Brightspeed Broadband LLC. The public staff has reviewed the filings and recommends that the order be issued approving the amendment, the agreement effective on the date it was filed.
Move approval.
It's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the public staff. Are there any questions or discussion? Commissioner Tucker.
This is all about broadband, correct?
Broadband telecommunication.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any additional questions or discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we'll move to public staff item number 3.
Good morning, Lindsay.
Okay, I apologize. Item number 3 has been pulled. We're now on public staff item number 4.
Okay. Lindsay Darden, Engineer Manager of the Public Staff, Water, Sewer, Transportation, and Telephone Division. If it's all right with the commission, I'll be presenting item numbers 4 through 6 together today. In docket number W-1305, subs 40, 41, and 43, Claris Hampstead LLC filed notifications of intention to begin operations in an area contiguous to a present service area to provide wastewater utility service to new service areas in Pender County, North Carolina. For item number 5, which is docket number W-1305, sub 41, there have been modifications to the proposed order. This includes language summarizing the Second Amendment to the service agreement that adds 2.4 single-family residential equivalent for community facilities. The modifications also include an edit to the total capacity reservation fee. I believe the commission has redline copies of that proposed order, and these modifications have been discussed with and reviewed by the commission staff. The public staff recommends that the commission issue the proposed orders, including the modifications, recognizing the contiguous extensions and approving rates.
Motion to approve the order with modifications.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve items 4, 5, and 6 with the modifications recommended by the public staff. Are there any questions or discussion from the commissioners? Okay. Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So items 4, 5, and 6 have been approved. Thank you. Okay, now we'll move to public staff item number 7.
Good morning. This is Thomas Wolcott, engineer with the Public Staff, Water, Sewer, Transportation, and Telephone Division. Item number 7 regarding docket W-1349 sub 0 for your approval is an order granting motion for temporary operating authority and approving interim rates for the CPCN application filed by Louisville Utilities Corporation, Inc., which covers the Lake Ellisara and the Estates Ellisara subdivisions. Public staff recommends that the commission issue the proposed order granting motion for temporary operating authority and approving interim rates.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve in a second. Are there any questions or discussion from the commissioners? Commissioner Hughes.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with how this is presented, but given some of our concerns with small water utilities over the last couple years, and then also given some of our debates over CPCN, I just like a little bit of commentary either from you or maybe someone else on your staff about we're granting several temporary operating authorities recently, as opposed to going to full CPCN. And if you could just talk a little bit about how you are dealing with utilities with this sort of approach toward temporary operating authorities versus full CPCNs, just a little bit of commentary about when we're going to see kind of moving forward. Is it just going to be when they ask for it? And then I guess more importantly, this seems like the birth of a very small utility that we've had a lot of problems with lately. And I guess I'm a little concerned about after this goes through, if I have it right, we're going to have another small individual utility serving very small numbers of customers. And Mr. Junis, I see you're here. You know my concerns about this. You want to just give me some commentary?
Yeah, so Chuck Junis with the public staff. This is a complicated issue, obviously. We struggle with the right balance. The sort of policy that we have been implementing is we will support temporary operating authority for situations where someone's sort of stepping in and helping resolve a situation. For example, Blacksmith Run here recently with Carolina Water. In this situation, we talked to Louisville Utilities on multiple occasions, and we're able to come to sort of a comfort level in terms of compliance of the system and their path forward, and recognizing that they have posted a considerable bond here. So we felt there were adequate protections also with the undertaking to allow them to charge for service with the temporary operating authority. There will be continued analysis about their managerial, technical, and financial capabilities to consider ultimately whether they are granted a CPCN. But given these circumstances, we felt comfortable with the temporary operating authority.
I'll take that for now. I appreciate it, but I will go on record as I hope we don't have a lot more new utilities serving 80 people come in front of us. But thanks.
Commissioner McKissick.
Just for clarity of the record, I assume Commissioner Hughes, your motion included the approval of a $100,000 bond as recommended by staff.
Yes.
Thank you.
And gentleman here.
Just go ahead. Okay, I am Lang Wilcox. I am president of the Louisville Utilities Corporation, and came up here today in case anybody had any concerns or questions in the event I needed to be of assistance.
Well, do you have anything different to say than Mr. I will take this moment to thank you for coming out. We don't always get this, and this is a serious issue, even though it's a small utility. So I really appreciate the fact that you came to. If you're driving all this way, if you want to say a little bit more about your background and your utilities, make me feel a little bit more convinced of your managerial capacity to go into this endeavor. By all means, the floor is yours. If it's okay with the
Yes,
chair.
please proceed, but remind all the commissioners and the public staff and everyone in the room that we are dealing with temporary operating authority, that we will have a full proceeding for determining whether the CPCN shall be granted. So, so let's reserve questions for the CPCN to be granted. But if you could introduce yourself and just give a little bit of background, that'd be helpful. But we will have a full proceeding and analysis for whether the CPCN should be granted.
Yes, thank you for that.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I understand, I get what you're saying about the utilities. I have been in the construction and development business since, in North Carolina since 1987. My partner's been here for about 20 years longer than that. My partner is a utility contractor and a very good utility contractor in the Forsyth County area. We've both been in business. We probably bring, 80 years-ish, maybe more experience to the marketplace. It's a really nice development that we created. We have a NPDES permit that we take very seriously. We understand what we're dealing with there with the environment. And our neighborhood was created mostly around a lot of environmental challenges that we were trying to make better because of the unique property that we're on. So we understand what we're doing. We hired a great engineer out of Cary, or out of I guess he's out of Raleigh. Deal Phillips, John Phillips, created us a really good facility. We've been in operation since 2016, full operation. The plants run very, very well. And we have great certified operator. And we've just got a not very nice facility to be able to take care of, operate from, that we don't believe that you'll have the kind of problems that maybe you've had with others. This is a nice facility and it's well maintained.
I appreciate that. And given your trees, I don't want to go too far beyond that. But again, I appreciate you coming out here and taking the stand and telling us a little bit more about your utility. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, and Commissioner Levitas.
Good morning, and thank you for being here. I'm curious to know, did you undertake the development of this project without having a concept or a plan for the ultimate operation of the wastewater facility?
No, just the environment changed a little bit. So we felt like we would have a public utility at the end that would take care of it. In 2017, we started the development in 2005. In 2017, we began the process of trying to interview companies to come and help us take the plant over. First, we were dealing with the kayak tax that stopped everybody dead in their tracks. But the biggest thing is that we are a low pressure collection system with a bunch of low pressure pumps throughout the subdivision on all of the individual lots. That is a non-starter for a lot of utility companies because it adds another level of management that it takes. I've done it since we started building the subdivision. I've helped take care of it. It doesn't scare us. We've been doing it all along. But that seemed to be a non-starter with some of the companies. And then the other thing was, because of coming out of the economy, we're out in the rural area of Louisville, we were slow to get up to our optimum operating levels on flows per day. And so we were not at a flow, didn't have the number of customers that the utilities were looking for. So we were left with doing it ourselves.
Well, I thank you for that. I asked because, and I'm relatively new to this, but I did have some involvement in these kinds of projects in a former life. It does seem to me like it might be a good idea to have the long-term game plan figured out before you get in a situation where you have a lot of homeowners hooked up to a system and you're having to run around, try to find somebody to serve them and then come in for this kind of temporary arrangement. And I noticed there was a period of time where, if I read the record correctly, you were operating out of compliance and charging folks without having a CPCN. So it just seems to me like it might be a good idea to get this stuff figured out in advance.
I understand. And just to explain, I appreciate what you're saying, agree totally. We would not have liked to have been in this position. But in 2017, the kayak tax came back from way back when, and it was a surprise to the industry. We were not prepared for that. We thought we had people that would be standing there taking this from us. So it was a bit of a surprise, to tell you the least.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for coming. We look forward to further analysis. We're dealing with temporary operating authority only in this, for this motion, and we look forward to a further analysis about whether the CPCN should be granted. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion carries, and thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay. So we have before us now the minutes of February 17th, 2025 for approval.
Move to approve. As presented.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Is there any additional business for the commission this morning? Okay. Seeing none, we stand adjourned. Thank you.